Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday Tea Talk. Hope you're all having a good Tuesday. We got some tea right here. I got my tea. It's really hot. Smells really good, and it's actually my last tea bag. It's from Parami. It's called Sleep With Me. It is a honey flavored tea. I mean, it's not honey. It's other stuff in it, but it's an herbal tea. Chameleon or chamomile, whatever it's called, lemon balm. Yeah, it's a very good, warm, sweet smelling tea. There's no honey in it. It's just it's a good tea. That brand, Parami, it's in a little jar. I really like their teas. I haven't had a bad tea from them. You can get them online. They are probably going to be more expensive than your, like your throat coat, your $4 tea. So, yeah.
It says full leaf tea, 15 biodegradable pyramid sachets.
Yeah.
One of the.
Yeah. So it's your,
Let me hold this for you.
yeah. Let me show you. This is what it looks like. It's a full leaf tea.
Very hot. Okay.
Yeah, it is really hot. So it's really good. Have any of you ever had the tea that is literally like a flower and you put it in your tea and it kind of opens up and stuff? Have you seen that? I don't remember what it's called. Maybe it's like a lotus tea or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Reminds me of White Lotus.
Oh, very true. Yeah. So, but that tea's okay. Man, there's a whole world of teas. I had tea at the Ritz-Carlton in Chicago one time. It was really
That's
fun.
one of his favorite memories.
It really is. It was really fun, and it was really fancy. You could say little tea, whatever it's called, tea time snacks.
tea.
High tea. Yeah, it was at noon or no. I mean, I don't know when it was. Maybe
Like 2.
it was like 2. You go there, and it was in Chicago, and I mean, maybe you know this. I didn't know when I went. I was pretty young, but I was like 18, 19. There's a elevator at the Water Tower Mall. I think, is this right? Water Tower Mall?
Tower Place.
Yeah, Water Tower Place. I think that takes you to Ritz-Carlton. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. Maybe the Ritz isn't even connected to Water Place. So if it's even called that. But it was great. You saw a lot of people eating pistachios, actually, before pistachios were as big as they were or are now, like in 2011, all these rich people eating pistachios and opening up, and it's like old ladies doing it, and they're like, you can tell they're super rich.
We're at the point now where you're like, back in my day, only rich people ate pistachios.
No, I know they were like a big deal, but it's just funny because the Ritz was selling them for like, I think it was like $25 a plate, and you get like a fancy pistachio. It's like it's silverware for putting your shells in a certain place, and very drama. So,
What's one of our favorite restaurants in Chicago? What's it called?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You know what I'm talking about?
Soup Box?
No. With the chocolate cake.
Oh, that's on Michigan. It's kind of like Cheesecake Factory, but I forget what it's called.
We'll think of it.
Yeah, it's Grand something.
Grand Lux.
Grand Lux. Yeah, that's a fun restaurant to go to when you're in downtown because it's just easy. You know what I mean? And if you go there and you're willing to wait, you can get a window to overlook Michigan. And it's really, really cool. So I think it's near the Gap or the Marshalls or something. I don't know. Forever 21 area. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's not the best restaurant. You don't go there really for food. I mean, it's probably like a little lower than Cheesecake Factory, maybe.
A little above, maybe.
Okay, maybe a little above.
Same.
Yeah, and but I really like it. I mean, I feel like you go there for the cake. That's the main thing I remember. I mean, I remember them having pasta and burgers and stuff, but I really like the cake there, the desserts. So
Would you want to go to Chicago sometime? I know we don't live as close anymore, but would you want to go there and have tea someday? Because I didn't get to go that time, because that was before we were together. So I think it would be very fun to experience that.
yeah, I would do that. I don't even know. I mean, to be real, I don't even know if it's easy to get a reservation there. I mean, maybe it's like super easy, but I feel like it might be kind of complicated. So, but I think tea time is maybe you can. I think it's like $50 a person or something.
Probably.
So, yeah.
You can do high tea at Cake Bake, and it is expensive as well. I think it's more than $50 a person.
Oh, well, I mean, Ritz-Carlton might be more. I have no idea. But maybe Cake Bake's more. I don't know. I would like to go to Cake Bake high tea. I bet they're really good.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of smaller brand versus Ritz-Carlton is, huge.
Well, everything at the Ritz-Carlton, though, is top notch. You're going to have a good experience.
I don't know. I mean, maybe, but like, Ritz-Carlton has tons of different stuff you can get there. It's not just tea or like that time of the day, not that Cake Bake is, but Cake Bake is more of like a brunch, you think of tea time. Yeah. And cake and stuff. And I'm sure they have way better food than what you can get at a Ritz-Carlton in Chicago. That's just my guess. Cause it's more like, specialized. That's what they do. Ritz-Carlton, it's like, okay, what's the next thing happening in like an hour? So, or 2 hours. But I don't know. But if you're able to get a window seat at the Ritz-Carlton, which is probably like another $100, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
So
We should go to the Cake Bake in Carmel sometime because the one in Broad Ripple is teeny tiny. And I've been to that one a couple times and I want to see how the mothership is.
Oh, is that the first one?
No, Broad Ripple is the first one because I think that's why it's so small. But they expanded and made a huge one at Carmel.
Oh, I bet that's doing so good. All of your ritzy Ritz people in Carmel enjoying Cake Bake,
Yeah.
families and stuff. I mean, it's good. Their cake is awesome.
It's very Instagrammable.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've never been to Cake Bake, but hey, I'm not going to pass that up. I mean, I saw that. I saw on DoorDash that they're doing a 2 or 3 day order a cake from them and they'll ship it to you, like fancy cakes. And it's not through DoorDash, and it's like another company that does it, but it's like, I think it's nationwide, or maybe it's just bigger cities. You can order a birthday cake and their fancy ones, kind of like the ones you can get from William and Sonoma, which I didn't know that was really a thing, and probably till like last year, or maybe they just launched it a couple years ago. They got them. I mean, the cakes on Williams and Sonoma and just their food in general looks amazing. I would totally do that for a holiday.
Okay, this is kind of related, but not really. You made me think of it. So, my dad has a birthday coming up, so I'm trying to think of what to give to him. And, I feel like dads typically, they don't need anything. They don't really, they don't know what they want. So you just have to get them something that you think will be good. So this is just something I'm considering. I was looking up cooking classes, and what I came across was this chocolate factory type thing where you can make different types of candies. And you can see how they go from the bean, like the cocoa bean, all the way to the chocolate. And after that is when you make like a few different little candies. And then you get a tour of their factory. It's called Sochati.
Oh, is that different than the chocolate shop that everyone goes to, or whatever it's called?
Probably.
You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
I'm considering it.
Yeah, I thought of something for your dad recently, but I forgot. It was food related, like some weird food.
Yeah.
So, but I don't remember what it was. But yeah, You should do that or something like that.
I feel like experiences are good for people that are hard to buy for.
Yeah, probably. Definitely.
And, sorry, last thing on this note, I feel like a full-fledged cooking class, like a whole meal, could potentially be a little bit stressful for some people. So I feel like just a dessert type thing would be a lot more fun.
Yeah. I would say
I would
so.
include myself in that.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I know Sir La Table has all different types of cooking stuff. You always see people back there on date night or whatever you do. So I thought about doing that one time, but I probably won't. I probably won't. This like part of me is like, no, I don't need to do this. What in the world?
I think the ones there are like $75 a person potentially.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need to go to Sir La Table to figure out how Sir La Table to figure out how to cook. But I can see why they're fun. I mean, if you have a group of friends that maybe you do that once a year or whatever you do,
Like a birthday.
yeah, like a birthday or something like that. I mean, or whatever. You're just one of those nights, a celebration night. So, but let's see. Today for me was whatever. I just worked and now I'm here, basically. So
That's good.
yeah. So that's that.
Today was good for me as well. Went back to the office today after being at home yesterday. That was good. There was lots happening. Got to talk to some people. And then it was so beautiful outside. Like the weather was just perfect, 60s, 60 degrees ish. That when I got home, I decided to go for a little run, which I have not run in quite some time. I would like to say that they just had the Chicago Marathon over the weekend, and I saw a lot of people that I know, like on social media, posting like watching their friends run it, or they're just in Chicago and seeing all the people. It's a very fun marathon. Like there's people with crazy signs dressed up, and I did run that one time.
Yeah, you
But-
ran it. That's crazy.
I ran the Chicago Marathon in 2012, but that was almost 10 years ago at this point, which kind of blows my mind. And I'm definitely in no shape to run 26.2 miles. But hey, it was a bucket list item, and I said I would never run one again, and I probably won't.
Really? Yeah, that's wild. Here's some random news I have. Nothing in particular, just things I found to be interesting. So, when you think of video games and video game companies, maybe Microsoft, who makes Xbox, comes to mind, Sony, PlayStation, they're a big deal, Nintendo. Well, Apple Gaming, what's on your iPhone, your tablet, iPad, your computer, they made this past quarter, or this year, they exceeded the gaming revenue of all of those companies as far as their gaming side together. So they made more money than Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo combined. Just Apple did on their gaming app store.
Wow,
That's crazy. All these, yeah, it's crazy.
that's a lot.
But it's that there's a lot of things, your phone's always with you. I'm sure there's a lot of people that play video games on their phone, which is why there's so many video game phones being developed. And also there will probably be a lot of laws in the future about some of the games that have been created because they're just made to make you get addicted to them. And I'm sure a lot of people prey on that. The next thing is Pop-Tarts is coming out with an Eggo flavor.
Stop.
Yeah, which I think they're owned by Kellogg. So everything's owned by Kellogg, including my next thing, which is a Wendy's Frosty cereal.
Wow.
So it's a limited time run, and you get a free Frosty if you buy it, which I'm sure that's, a bargain.
Because who's going to go to Wendy's to get a free Frosty without getting something else? I can't. I've not been to Wendy's in forever, but I love it. I was just going to say, I'm surprised they haven't come out with an Eggo waffle Pop-Tart prior to now. That's a pretty genius idea.
Yeah. I mean, it is interesting, but it's just a maple syrup waffle flavored Pop-Tart. So
I'll put
they,
butter on that.
yeah. So, I mean, it's still a Pop-Tart. I mean, yeah, but it is a good idea. And then my last thought, and maybe some of you are thinking about this as well. Bobby Flay is leaving the Food Network, the Discovery owned network, Food Network. So Discovery owns them. And there's a few reasons, well, some rumors. One being Bobby Flay wanted a $100 million contract with Food Network because Food Network gave, what's his name, Guy Fieri, an $80 million contract, 3-year, $80 million contract. Bobby wanted $100 million, and they didn't give it to him. But it's not, I feel like it's not just that, it's not just black and white. It's Bobby's terms and conditions were a lot more complicated, and they were longer. It wasn't 3 years. Bobby wanted longer time with the network and more power in it, and he wanted to bring in some of his ideas, and they just didn't. I just don't think they wanted to give him the money because, Guy's only 80 million, 3 years, He's Guy. A lot of people like Guy Fieri, and I do know that he does a lot of. Now, I don't know anything about I don't know anything that he's done bad, but I do know he's done a ton of charity work. That's mostly unheard of, like millions of dollars. I think he's one of the main. He has one of the largest employee fund or something like that for people that work for him. Like he's really good to his employees. Maybe not the ones that are connected to his franchises at the casinos, because I mean that's probably a whole different. They probably just rent his name, but I think his restaurants that he owns, I think he's really good to his employees, and he's done a lot of crazy charity work, which you should look into because I'm pretty sure it's pretty extensive. So, but yeah, that's all my random facts.
That's really cool. I did not know that Guy Fieri was such a charitable guy, but charitable Guy Fieri. Makes sense. He seems super nice. I was going to say, I really missed the show Unwrapped. I loved that show on Food Network. And I kind of like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, which is also Guy Fieri, one of his OG shows. And the one with Alton Brown. I forget what that was. Very chemistry-like. Do you remember what that was called?
Yeah, Good Eats.
Good Eats. Used to watch that with my brother. That was fun. Anyway, one other TV thing is, I don't know if any of you watch SNL, but I saw that Kim Kardashian was the host of Saturday Night Live on Saturday and saw a bunch of memes and little videos on it. So I was like, okay, I got to go back and watch it. And it was funny. So if you're into that kind of thing, I'd recommend that you take a look because she very much made fun of, herself, her crew that she runs around with. So I feel like that is the funniest thing when people are able to lighten up and make fun of themselves. So she was cool. I'm not a super Kardashians fan or anything, but it was interesting.
Yeah, I've heard from I don't know Kim obviously, but I've heard that she's actually a really nice person. And I've heard she's really cool. Even though I'm sure, when you're a celebrity, tons of stuff gets said, but yeah, I think she's changed a lot over the past, since maybe 10 years. So, but yeah, I thought Kim's thing was really good too. I heard that she had been practicing saying it over and over with Kanye for the past couple days before she did it because she was so nervous.
Really?
Yeah, she stayed in a hotel in New York for a week before SNL, and she practiced. I think her and Kanye helped her with it because it was
Even though they're not together.
yeah, even though they're not together technically. But anyways, that's that. If you're still watching this, comment down below Pop-Tart. Pop-Tart. Do you like Pop-Tarts? What is your favorite flavor? Mine is probably brown sugar.
I love Pop-Tarts so much. I'm going to say my favorite is either cherry or brown sugar, but I also like s'mores. So I was going to ask you this earlier. I forgot. Would you rather have a piece of cookie cake from that place at the fashion mall or a piece of cake from Cake Bake?
Probably the cake bake because they probably took more time making it. So, but I do love cookie cake. It's one of my favorite things, but I don't ever get it. So, but I do really like it.
That's all.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go now. We're going to go. I'm going to upload this video. Hope you all have a good Wednesday. Wow, it's almost Wednesday already. That's amazing. So, hope you all have a good week. We will see you tomorrow. And was there anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Well, if no one's told you this today, you are loved and this world's a better place because you are here. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.